September 25, 1944. It is 2 a.m. in London. Deep beneath Westminster, in the underground war room at 10 Downing Street, Winston Churchill stands alone. A single lamp throws long shadows across a massive map of Europe pinned to the wall. France is shaded blue. Belgium is almost clear. Allied arrows point east toward Germany. A half-empty glass of whiskey rests untouched beside him. Churchill hasn't slept in 36 hours. His body is exhausted, but his mind refuses to slow. For the first time since 1939, the war finally feels winnable. Paris is free. Allied armies are advancing on all fronts. Germany is retreating. And yet, something feels wrong. Churchill can't explain it, but he feels it in his bones. The door opens quietly. General Hastings, Pug, Ismay, his chief of staff, steps inside carrying a thick folder. His face is pale, almost gray. "Prime Minister," Ismay says softly, "you need to see this. It just came in from Holland." Churchill takes the folder. He opens it. His hand stops halfway through the first page. The room goes silent. "How many?" Churchill asks, his voice barely above a whisper. Ismay swallows. 10,000, sir. Give or take. The 1st Airborne Division at Arnhem. They're gone. 10,000 British soldiers. Lost in 9 days. Operation Market Garden, Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery's bold plan to end the war by Christmas, has just become one of the bloodiest disasters in British military history. Churchill slowly sets the folder down, as if it might shatter. "Where is Patton right now?" he asks. Ismay steps forward and points at the map. "Here, sir. His Third Army is east of Nancy, 15 miles from the German border." Churchill stares at the map. Montgomery in Holland. Patton 200 miles south. "Get me the supply reports," Churchill says. "Every gallon of fuel. Every ton of ammunition. Montgomery and Patton. I want exact numbers. 1 hour." At 3 a.m., the reports arrive. Churchill spreads them across the table. Ismay stands beside him in silence. The numbers tell a story that makes Churchill's blood run cold. For 9 days, September 17th through the 25th, Montgomery's 21st Army Group received absolute priority. 1,400 tons of fuel every single day. Every available truck. Every supply convoy. Every spare drop of petrol the Allies could move went north to support Market Garden. The plan had looked perfect on paper. 3 airborne divisions would drop into Holland, seizing bridges. Armored units would race up a single highway. The Rhine would be crossed at Arnhem. From there, Allied forces would smash into the Ruhr, the industrial heart of Germany, and end the war before winter. Montgomery had promised Churchill it would work. He staked his reputation on it. On September 17th, the British 1st Airborne Division dropped at Arnhem. Elite troops. Some of the best soldiers Britain had ever trained. Their orders were simple: hold the bridge for 48 hours. They held for 9 days. German resistance was devastating. 2 SS Panzer divisions, battle-hardened veterans, were refitting near Arnhem. British intelligence missed them. Or ignored them. Dutch resistance fighters warned of tanks. Aerial reconnaissance spotted armor. Montgomery dismissed it all. The paratroopers were surrounded. Outnumbered 5 to 1. Ammunition ran low. Medical supplies ran out. Wounded men lay untreated in cellars while SS armor closed in. Still they fought. House to house. Street by street. Day after day. On the night of September 25th, what remained of the division evacuated across the Rhine under darkness and gunfire. Out of nearly 10,000 men, fewer than 2,000 escaped. The Rhine Bridge, the entire reason for the operation, remained firmly in German hands. Churchill reads the casualty totals again. Over 10,000 lost. 64 miles gained. 0 strategic objectives achieved. Then he turns to the second report. Third Army operations. Same 9 days. Fuel allocated, 700 tons per day. exactly half of what Montgomery received. With that half, General George S. Patton captured 12 fortified cities: Nancy, Luneville, Chateau Salins, Pont-de-Mousson, and more. He crossed 3 major rivers under fire: the Moselle, the Meurthe, the Mortagne. He shattered German defenses, captured 45,000 enemy soldiers, and advanced 60 miles into enemy territory. Third Army casualties, just over 2,000. By the end of those same 9 days, Patton sat 15 miles from the German border, staring at the Siegfried Line. Churchill removes his glasses, rubs his eyes, puts them back on, reads it again. "Pug," he says quietly, "tell me I'm reading this wrong." "You're not, sir." 3 officers verified the figures. At 4 a.m., Churchill demands a secure line to Eisenhower. When the call connects, Churchill doesn't bother with pleasantries. "Is it a good morning, Ike?" he snaps. "Because I'm staring at numbers that suggest otherwise." He doesn't wait for a response. "We gave Bernard Montgomery everything, every truck, every gallon, every priority, and he lost an entire airborne division for nothing. While George Patton, with half the fuel, is tearing German armies apart." "Explain that to me." Eisenhower tries. Different terrain. Intelligence failures. Strategic importance. Churchill cuts him off every time. "Patton crossed 3 rivers. Patton took 45,000 prisoners. I want to know," Churchill says coldly, "why we are punishing success and rewarding failure." Within 24 hours, the story leaks. British newspapers explode. Arnhem dominates every front page. Mothers demand answers. Wives ask why their husbands died for a bridge still held by the enemy. At the same time, General Omar Bradley submits a formal request. Patton can reach the Rhine in 10 days, if he's given fuel. Bradley's final sentence is devastating. "We are winning a war with our hands tied while others lose it with both hands free." October 1, 1944. Churchill arrives unannounced at Eisenhower's headquarters in Versailles. He enters a conference room filled with British and American generals. He drops a bound report on the table. 2 columns. Montgomery, double the fuel. 10,000 casualties. 0 objectives achieved. Patton, half the fuel. 2,000 casualties. German defenses collapsing. "How?" Churchill asks. "Is this possible?" No one answers. The next day, Churchill tours the market garden battlefield. Burned tanks line the roads. Destroyed gliders litter the fields. Fresh graves everywhere. "You were warned," Churchill says quietly to Montgomery. "You gambled 10,000 lives," he continues, "and you lost." Later, Churchill visits Patton in Nancy. The city is intact. Civilians are returning. Repairs are already underway. When Churchill asks about casualties, Patton shrugs. "Acceptable, sir. We keep moving. They can't hit what they can't stop." Churchill understands. One general demands perfection before acting. The other acts with what he's given, and wins. From that moment, Montgomery loses priority. Patton gets fuel. In December, Germany launches its last desperate gamble, the Battle of the Bulge. Bastogne is surrounded. Montgomery asks for weeks. Patton looks at the map. 48 hours. He pivots his entire army in winter conditions and breaks the siege in 72 hours. When the war ends, Patton's army is deep in Germany. Montgomery is still advancing cautiously from the north. Churchill later writes the verdict history remembers. "Monty remains capable defensively. But offensive war requires a different soul. George has it. Bernard does not."